Osiris.
What's going on? Hi, everybody. What's happening? This is Karina Rykman here with my dear friend and co-conspirator, Mr. Isaac Slone, for another episode of Inappropriate Happiness.
And this time in the flesh. Karina, welcome home.
Thank you, Isaac. It feels so good to be home.
You have been all around our beautiful country.
I did an entire loop. I did literally an entire loop around the country, which
That
I've never
is
done.
amazing. You've never done that.
Never in my life. I've never even driven across the country. I've done, the longest tour I did before this was 17 shows in 17 days.
Right, I remember that one.
Which is some lunatic shit. Don't get me wrong. That's crazy for sure. But it was in a tour bus, which makes your life much easier. You wake up in the city you're playing in. You don't have to drive to the city that you're playing in and then play it. You know what I'm saying? During the day. That creates a whole other life for you. You know what I mean?
I can't even imagine.
It's difficult.
Really, I can't.
So a van tour, 28 days on the road, crazy town, USA. But oh my God, the shows were incredible. I last spoke to you in Seattle. Mm-hmm. Incredible show.
Amazing.
2 shows in Seattle. I forget if I spoke to you from night 1 or night 2, but regardless, they were both epic and fantastic. And yeah, and then after Seattle night 2 with Pigeons playing ping pong, my band headed east
Sure.
from Seattle. And we drove from Seattle to Chicago in 3 days.
Oh, God.
Not easy. And then we played a great rock show in Chicago at the legendary Shuba's Tavern. And that was epic. We played Shuba's in Chicago. Then we played Indianapolis. Then we played Detroit, or rather Ferndale, Michigan. And
right,
then
Ferndale.
Ferndale, let me tell you something about Ferndale. Ferndale is awesome.
Ferndale goes?
Ferndale went, for sure. It was really, really cool. Great shows. And then we closed it all out at the Beachland Ballroom in Cleveland. And honestly, I've been home for about 24 hours at this point, and it's feeling like a dream already. I still don't understand that we just did all that.
Amazing. Well, congratulations.
Thank
it's all
you.
very exciting.
Feels amazing. And yeah, I'm luxuriating now. I'm just
As you should.
Taking a breath. I got my nails done today.
Nice.
Not a thing I do often. Felt great. I took a few baths. And I'm just recovering. So this is all great. This is going swimmingly. But I'm inappropriately happy to see you.
Likewise, absolutely.
This is excellent. How have you been?
I've been well. Things are good. As you were traversing this beautiful country of ours, some of our, jam band centric artists have been playing overseas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Where do we start? Iceland or England?
Let's start with England. Billy Strings.
Dude, Billy. The man, the myth, the legend, everyone's favorite artist. Rightfully so.
Having a real go of it this year. And played 3 shows in London, England. The first one being a small show, at Rough Trade East.
Yep, Rough Trade East. We love it.
And he debuted a cover of the Beatles. I've just seen a face from the album Help in 1965, which is a appropriate homage to hopping across the pond and paying tribute to seminal artists. And I can only imagine the vibe in Rough Trade. As Billy Strings made his London debut.
So cool. It's so cool. And all the great documentation by, we got to throw it up for Jesse Fatz, who is the tour photographer, tour videographer, incredible documentarian for Billy himself, follows him everywhere and really just the king of all Billy media. I felt like through Instagram and whatnot, we got a great kind of preview into what was going on and could just get a peek into, it kind of felt like when those boys were walking in there, it was sort of Beatles-esque. People were losing their shit. It was absolutely incredible to behold and see them rolling around London. It's so cool.
I saw a Billy Strings show this year and it was really just magnificent. I'm looking forward to seeing him many more times. But he played 2 more nights, March 26th and 27th. At the Islington Assembly Hall in London. And I'm just looking at the set list for those shows. A couple of debuts in Foggy Old London by Al Robinson and Jimmy Martin, and he closed it out with Tom Paxton's cover, Leaving London. And also in the show notes, there's Inspector Gadget theme teases.
Oh, yeah.
In Meet Me at the Creek, and Day Tripper teases in the song Thunder.
So awesome.
But something that's kind of blows my mind about Billy Strings is that he teases so many things that don't even make the show notes.
Sure. You wouldn't even know.
You wouldn't even know. And the kinds of styles he goes in and out of, you can hear references to Tony Rice and Doc Watson. But, when I saw him, there was a rearview mirror tease, Pearl Jam.
Oh, baby.
And Pudding Time.
Dude.
Primus.
And obviously, we all know he just spent some good time in Sweetwater, or rather at Sweetwater in Marin with Les Claypool and Bob Weir, and it looked completely ridiculous on that level.
Kid gets around.
Just to see him get in with those guys, and you know he's such a huge fan and everything and now they're peers. It's just crazy. It's just
Absolutely.
crazy. And yeah, I love that the kid speaks Doc Watson as much as he speaks Megadeth,
Totally.
Cool as shit coming from me who loves, genres ranging from, Phoebe Bridgers to Go Fuck Yourself. You know what I mean? Like, it's just fantastic. So this is good.
And he added some European dates in November and December of 2022.
Yes. Where are we looking?
Amsterdam, Copenhagen, going back to London, a couple other shows. It's going to be a nice little stretch. So visit him online if you're in the area.
Yeah, absolutely. How many folks, Isaac, like what percentage of this do you think are people flying over there from the States?
That's a really good question.
I wonder. I mean, I feel like in the UK specifically, I know that they flip shits and go nuts over blues, among other things, of course. But I can see, the local population absorbing this, but I can also see, the Billy Goats, if you will,
sure,
making a trip out of it, and
yeah.
I'm sure there's plenty of folks who are coming from the States to check it out.
Totally.
I'd like that to be me. I'd like that to be
right?
us. Yeah. We should do that. What are we thinking?
Well, an amazing thing about this is that, international shows can happen safely, right? I feel like very few of our favorite bands have crossed the pond since COVID happened.
100%.
So that's a really good sign.
Oh my God. And can we talk about, was it Lollapalooza, Billy's placement on
Yes.
the Lollapalooza lineup? Just
Absolutely.
real quick. I mean, while we're dapping the boy up, let's get in there. I mean, he is, second line billing, huge among every pop star in the world, and deserves it. And it's just
Really
it makes
deserves
you really feel good about, music and the future of people's, fandom and culture and all of this stuff that somebody who is as technically skilled and just downright incredible as being, given sort of these amazing opportunities and respect and, the way that people are following him around. It's all incredible and so amazing to see, that all happen in sort of even more of a pop landscape than I would ever have thought, And
he's a good songwriter.
His songs
original
are great.
tunes are really good.
Fantastic.
Talking about the covers and the teases, but the kid can write a song.
Kid can write a song. He can sing them, and he sure can pick them. Kid can play.
So next door on March 26th at the O2 Arena in London, Genesis, legendary prog rock group, played their final show.
Yo. We know this is for those of you who don't know, which is all of you, let me tell you, Isaac loses his mind for Genesis.
I do love Genesis.
So,
yeah.
dude, what would you have given to be front row? It would have been crazy.
Well, our dear friend Adam Shapiro took me to see them at Madison Square Garden just last December, and it was a very, very magical night. You could really tell, like, wow, this is the last time they're going to do this.
Right.
And, each song got a real full treatment. The crowd was really loving it. And, those guys, they still had it. It was really amazing to see Tony Banks and
so cool.
Phil Collins. And it was very cool. And Peter Gabriel was in the building, former Genesis frontman. Peter Gabriel went to go see his friends turn it on again one last time at the O2.
Now that's got to be a trip.
It's got to be a trip. Totally.
That's just, I mean, thankfully he's had an incredible career in his own right, but like, can you imagine if he just went into obscurity and then went to go see Genesis and was like, oh man, Wow.
Right?
Unbelievable. Well, that's very cool.
Unbelievable.
We love that.
Yeah, and the artistry of Genesis, just one more thing I want to touch on.
Yeah.
Trey and Fish inducted them into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and Trey talks about the cover art for the album Trespass, and he talks about loving it because the band added the song The Knife to the running order.
Yes.
And the artist that designed the cover, Paul Whitehead, sort of thought, I don't know if the cover really fits. And so when he was asked to redesign it, he was reluctant to do it, and he actually slashed the canvas with an actual knife.
Yo.
So you can see there's a slice running through the album cover, and Trey uses that as a metaphor for what Genesis did for music, sort of just threw a knife in it and really changed the game. And, we see that kind of thinking in the music that we love and the sort of modern bands that we love.
Certainly. And it's a metaphor for many things that I love.
Absolutely.
Rattling
Yes.
some shit the fuck up.
Totally.
Literally. Sticking a knife in some canvas, baby. Let's go. That's so sick. I love that. I super love that. I've never seen Genesis.
Oh, yeah.
And now I never will.
Oh.
Right? Is that it?
I don't know.
That's
I
it?
mean, that's what they're telling us.
Yeah. But they're never up front, these bands.
No,
you
that's
know?
really true.
We've got all these bands saying it's the farewell.
Right.
Is it ever really the farewell?
Right.
TBD. We'll
TBD.
see. We'll see. I'll hold up hope. I'll hold out hope. Yeah.
And speaking of international shows, Umphrey's McGee playing their Reykjavik shows in Reykjavik, Iceland at Harpa, which is a beautiful venue from what the pictures I've seen.
The pictures looked insane. Unbelievable. For all of you Umphrey's McGee fans who happened to be there, Mazel tov. It looked insane. It looked beautiful.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just Umphrey's, correct? We had Star Kitchen.
Yep, and Jennifer Hartswick and a couple other groups came out and played after parties. And I also saw that some people were checking out the local prog bands after the Umphrey's show, which I
cool.
love to hear.
That's really kind of incredible.
That's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
I've never been to Iceland. I would love to go to Iceland.
Same. Now what? I was thinking that. I was like, wow, okay, so we missed this. Maybe
Right.
they'll do it again, but maybe this will catch on a la the many destination events that Cloud9 and now CID put on and whatnot.
Totally.
Mexico, Dominican, et cetera, et cetera. But what if now the new wave is Iceland?
I'm really down.
Where
I
you're
would
probably
really
like,
love
you're
to
not sipping margaritas there. What are you doing? I've never been there. You tell me. A pint?
Oh, no.
Probably a frosty
Probably a frosty pint. We're so ignorant about Icelandic
Yeah, I'm
culture.
a little ignorant. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know what you're supposed to sip on there.
We need an American jam band to bring us over there and school us on how to do Iceland.
Dude, well, I've always been tripping on the Blue Lagoon. I'm not going to lie to you. Have you
Oh,
seen this?
yeah.
That looks appealing.
And Northern Lights.
Northern Lights, we love it. We love it. We have a dear friend named Monica who has been whooping it up in Iceland for quite some time.
Right, she
And
does love that.
Gotta write to her.
Yes, that's the person you want.
Yeah,
to take
totally.
us
I
to
hope you all
Iceland.
have a friend in Iceland who can give you the hot goss on
The
what
hot
is
goss
going
on
on.
what to do in Iceland.
But Umphrey's looked like they had a great time.
Yeah, I think this was postponed since March of 2020.
Right.
So the fans really finally got to do it, and I think that's just, it's probably an amazing feeling, just compounded by other kinds of exciting things that were going on.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. I mean, when you have to wait that long
Totally.
for something that you've been looking forward to, shit, like that's intense and fantastic.
Totally.
And shout out to our mutual friend, Mr. Larry Siegel, for being one of the people who put it together. Fantastic.
Yep. I know it's a real big gamble to do something like that, and I think it really paid off for him. And it's very exciting.
Looked great.
Speaking of new wave bands,
Yes.
that are going out on tour, Roxy Music are heading out on their first tour in 11 years, celebrating the 50th anniversary of their debut album, and they're bringing along none other than St. Vincent.
Dude, talk about a hot bill.
I'm inappropriately happy over this.
Yeah,
now.
you and me
I was like, maybe I'll just go on tour and just see the country with Roxy Music.
Dude, and I think that's really cool because, honestly, they could have picked anybody to open those shows. And, I think that the pairing of St. Vincent and Roxy Music is particularly cool.
It's an awesome pairing.
Oh, God.
The shows start September 7th in Toronto, Ontario, and they're playing Madison Square Garden on September 12th.
Mark it.
market, also hitting Philly and Boston, Chicago, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, then Scotland and England.
Yo, there you go.
But they're going to keep this going for a while, right? I feel
would.
like they're going to add a lot of shows.
Right?
We'll have some chances to see Roxy music,
Dude.
which is just great for me.
It's great for me. Let me tell you. That's fantastic. I'm all about this. I'm a big fan.
Me too.
And
Me too.
Never seen him.
Yeah, I've
Ready
seen
to
Brian
see.
Ferry, who's the front man before.
Where'd
doing
you see
solo
Brian
stuff
Ferry?
At the Beacon Theater.
Dude, sick.
And he did some Roxy music. Love is the Drug,
Dude.
Avalon.
Love is the Drug is one of my favorite bass lines of all time. I
a great
really
bass
think
line.
so. I
Totally.
really think it is.
Totally.
Oh, dude.
so
Well, that's
that's
a very
really
exciting announcement.
be
We like
very
that.
cool.
We like that a lot.
Yeah. And in sad news, we lost a very important member of the music world this weekend.
Taylor Hawkins.
Taylor Hawkins, the drummer of the Foo Fighters.
Oh,
And it's actually really profound to see how much the music community, every musician has a good Taylor Hawkins story or something to say about his passing. And it's really, the outpouring is unbelievable.
I'd agree. I would super agree. You hear nothing but love for him. He looked like the happiest guy on stage every single time.
Completely amazing drummer. Like,
Oh my God.
let's just say amazing drummer.
Amazing. And I mean, shit, found in a Columbia hotel room. You don't love to hear that. The
You don't.
toxicology, what is it? Toxicology reports.
That's right.
They don't appear good,
No.
is what we've seen, which is really just so sad. I mean, tragic all around. And, you got to feel for Dave Grohl in this moment where, like, he lost, his front man many years ago.
Absolutely.
And now he's lost his partner in crime and his drummer when he became the front man years later. These are unbreakable musical bonds that get broken in ways that you can never heal from. You try, but you can't. That's unthinkable.
Unthinkable.
Your heart goes out to that guy and everybody, of course, whose life he touched, his family, his children. Oh my God. Yeah, that was a tough one. That was a real tough one. And
tough one.
Man, our thoughts go out to his family, his friends, everyone who loved him, and fucking rest in peace, Taylor.
Yeah. And if you're struggling out there, get some help.
Get some help. Shout out to Backline.
Shout out to Backline.care.
Yes. Isaac, you could tell the people a little bit about Backline.care.
Sure. I work with Backline.care.
Yeah.
And it is a nonprofit organization that helps connect music industry professionals and their families with health and wellness resources like vetted therapists who understand something about the music industry and understand enough about working with artists. And yes, you can schedule a call with a case manager. You might get me. And we can talk about how it's going for you and, what some of your goals for your mental health might be. Huge resource for this very underserviced community that, people think is all glitz, glamour, rock star bullshit, and you don't see the other side. You don't see the part where the people aren't on stage. You don't see the part where they're away from loved ones and getting violently screwed up from the a million pressures and, circumstances that you have to deal with as a touring musician. So Absolutely.
this is an amazing thing, and you should be lucky to get Isaac as your case manager or your case worker, anything like that. For the record, I mentioned last week that I was going to be like, hey, let's unfold a little bit. The man, the myth, and the legend, Isaac Slone, sitting next to me right now. Isaac, you work for Backline. That's what the people know, right?
Right.
What don't they know? Isaac is a very multi-talented individual, and he is working in these spheres and many others. So I feel like you need to let them know what's poppin'.
Karina, I came to my work at Backline because I'm a psychotherapist.
Boom.
And I am in training to become a psychoanalyst. And I see patients through a institute, and I'm working on my license to see patients privately. And another thing that kind of intersects Backline and my private practice work and psychotherapy work is I write about music and the role it plays in our lives from an academic perspective.
Yes. Dude. And the merging of the two and the merging of the two of us. You see people, this is all coming together.
It's a very cool thing.
These are a lot of things that they make a lot of sense in the grand scheme of things, of the show, of our mutual lives, of our lives together, all of these things. But I felt like the folks out there should know that you're talking to an almost licensed psychotherapist. Oh, yeah. Dude, that shit is heavy. And that shit ain't easy. Oh, my God. This guy, he is, the coursework. We're talking patience. We're talking the whole nine. It's a lot. It's a beautiful and inspiring thing to see. And your love of music. And, he is flying around. He's like, oh, yeah, I have a Grateful Dead Scholars Caucus in, Albuquerque, New Mexico this weekend where I'm going to read a few papers that I wrote. And I'm like, damn, when did you even write that? Anyway. Insane shit. Isaac Slone, ladies and gentlemen. More on that. I'm going to embarrass him more as this season goes on.
I look forward to that. Thank you, Karina.
Oh, with great pleasure. Come on. It's a beautiful thing.
But yes, the merging of your passions, my passions, this platform, Osiris Media, it's a fun, really good thing.
It's incredible. It's incredible. So, R.I.P. Taylor Hawkins. If you're a musician struggling, check out Backline. If you're a person struggling, check out Isaac Slone. and that is sort of all she wrote. Is that all she wrote?
That's all she wrote for this week. We look forward to next week.
Unbelievable.
Inappropriate Happiness.
Yes.
Is brought to you by Osiris Media. It's hosted by myself, Isaac Slone, and the fabulous Karina Rykman, and produced and edited by Marlo Shankweiler.
Dude. Sure is. And we'd like to give a resounding shout out to our main man, Brian Brinkman, behind the scenes. Our other mainest man, RJB, behind the scenes. Thank you for putting us on. Thank you all out there for tuning in. And thank you, Jambase.
Totally, Jambase.
Absolutely. And we're just so thrilled to, keep this rolling and be talking to each other. We're inappropriately happy about it, let me tell you.
You can check out other shows at our website at osirispod.com. There is a new episode of The Great Beyond, which is a podcast about the rock band Goose. It's an interview with Stephen Hayden, who just wrote an awesome article about this band for Uprocks. And there's also 36 from the Vault, which is a live show, which it's about to be in its 4th season, with a launch on April 11th. And it is about the live releases from the Grateful Dead.
Hey, there you go.
Lot to love.
Nothing but a lot to love. Oh, yeah. No, this is great. This is super great. Check out all the podcasts on Osiris Network. It's a beautiful thing. And we're happy to be amongst them.
Until next week.
Cheers, everybody. Take care.
Osiris.